I've never seen it.
When you really get into the zeitgeist, it's a real Pringle can tennis ball situation. Another joke I wrote.
Now we're good to go.
When I was in college doing comedy, just starting, Nick Vatterott was on The Tonight Show. Or no, I guess it was Late Night with Jimmy Fallon at that point.
You're right, exactly.
And he did a very great set using like a 20-foot
Yeah,
long
the long
set
set
list.
list.
Yeah.
Love that.
And
bit.
he went to Missouri, where I went to college.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a very cool thing, because everyone's like, this guy who went here is going to be on Jimmy Fallon. Then his set is incredibly funny. The next week at the only show, the Tuesday night show, the only show in College Town, a kid did the joke
Oh, yeah.
with the long set list,
Amazing.
all the stuff, and then pretended he hadn't seen Nick's set.
That's pretty great.
But just independently in 4 days, thought up the most complicated stand-up bit
That's
you've ever
so
seen.
good.
Dude, haven't you ever heard of Parallel Thought?
Even the point where he was like, Vatterott? And we're like, well, now you can't pretend you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I've talked to you
No,
about
it's
him before.
it's been my nickname forever. I don't know what it means.
To like the little things, because it's like sort of gags that lead to the bit.
It's so
There's
intricate.
no,
It's so
yeah. I mean, he's
intricate.
doing like the,
Right.
like the
This big, it,
everything.
it's not a line. It's not a, why doesn't the bank trust me with their pen? Or, you know, something
it's
like
a
that.
performance
Yeah.
piece. It's a thing you
yeah.
have
Who's
to
gonna build the wall?
memorize.
Yeah, it's a-
exactly.
I went back there a couple years ago. He actually did all of Hamilton.
By himself.
Yeah. He said he didn't know that anyone else had put it on
You
before.
can't say he doesn't try. That effort is incredible.
It's really into Aaron Burr.
Are we going? Is this all good? We're rolling?
Who
Okay.
isn't into Aaron? I did a part on Trevor's the late Trevor from Whitest Kids from his show Walk the Prank with these little kids and you know a kid show but definitely had jokes just for adults. They all went to Aaron Burr elementary school, and the statue out front was a glaring dude with his hands like he's about to pull, like he's about to just grab a gun. And it made, every time I came to set, I laughed, and I'm like, do these kids even understand the joke?
You got to have some fun along the way while you're doing it. All right, this is it. This has Never Seen It. This podcast where comedians rewrite movies they've never seen. Today, having never been on the podcast, having done a movie we've somehow never done on this podcast before, having never seen Crash, Matt Braunger is here. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I love the concept of this podcast, and I've listened to a couple. It's very funny, and it's very fun. I always like podcasts with a great hook, and people have a good time, you know, doing it.
Yeah.
I honestly have never had more fun writing a thing because it was just I love just the freedom of just going.
That'll come off good to everyone who's employed you.
I know. I know. Just like,
I've never had any fun doing comedy
it's
until.
just I felt no pressure at
Yes,
all.
yeah.
You know, I was like, I'm not going to try to fill this with jokes. I'm just going to try to get. I literally, you know 2 things about this movie.
Sure, it's a notorious movie.
Yes.
I do hope no one cares that much about this. Oh, and joining us, Michael Joyce is here once again as well. It's been a long time.
Hi, everybody. Yeah.
Maybe a couple years.
I think it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah, maybe that's what caused it. We'll see. We'll see what happens next week. Mike was on here late February 2020, and you had that cough.
Oh my God.
I was just feeling a little sick.
I have a regular cough. It's a rough time to have a tickle in your throat.
Yeah.
Like you're at the grocery store. I still wear my mask if I go to the grocery store, and like you still cough, and you just want to be like, yeah, but I actually get it's just a regular
it's
cough.
Cool. Yeah.
Who makes these tortillas? You know, but no one. It's tough, but I'm feeling okay.
Yeah.
Crash. I have a lot of thoughts on Crash that maybe we talk more after. I don't want to like step on any of the script.
Oh, okay. Whatever you want to do.
I'm happy that you enjoyed writing it. Did you have any struggles?
No, I just I know. Should I talk about what I know about the movie?
You can definitely.
Okay. So I knew 2 things. One, it was about racism and about how in LA people live LA has got so many people, but people feel so alone. And I'm like, okay, I remember hearing that about the movie, and I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely true. You know, and I've had 2 friends who one live in New York, one live in LA, literally argue over which is the more lonely city. Where New York is lonely because everyone's so close together, but they don't want to talk.
Sure.
And I think that's gotten a little better as time has gone by. But like, you know, the thing about LA, it's like it's so big, and it is. LA is certainly the most city state of any
Yeah.
of our cities in the United States. But I also heard it just beat you over the head with all of its quote unquote brilliance. I remember when it came out, people were like, "Oh my!" Or either like, "Oh my God!" It was incredible. My God! Or people were like, "Fuck this movie!"
Sure.
You know, we're so angry at it.
It's like a very polarizing bluntness.
Yes, yes, and how?
I would say an early predecessor to Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. A movie that there's a bingo. So fans play bingo with this podcast.
Okay.
Where they make little bingo cards of the shit I won't shut up about.
That's right.
I'm very surprised that me shitting on Three Billboards is not like the center square for the bingo card. I'm from Missouri, and it makes me like even a little more upset. If I had written In Bruges, it would have been just as cartoonish. That's kind of what I'm saying. Is it's like it's very clearly.
And I'm guessing you've never been to Bruges.
I've never been to
there you
Bruges.
go. Yeah,
it looks great in the movie, even though they make fun of it all the time.
Enchanting.
What is his name? He is hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. The guy from In Bruges, not Colin Farrell. I can never remember his name. The other actor.
The Irish
He's in
actor, or
Paddington
English
too.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's great.
He did this great movie where he plays a conflicted
Brendan
priest in a small
Gleeson.
town, and it blew my mind. I'm forgetting it, but
I am
anyway.
a big fan of SNL having old people host.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
should honestly they should have a 60-year-old cast member. I really think they should. But the promo that Brendan Gleeson did is him skateboarding around the studio and saying all he loves to do is skateboard, and it's shot fisheye like old skate at VHS's were, and it just makes him look like he doesn't care about anything but skateboarding. It's hilarious.
That's great.
It's the hardest I've laughed
great.
at like an SNL thing in a really long time.
Yeah.
And Molly is chasing him, and she gives
Really?
and she's like the security guard for whatever that studio is, and it's so funny.
Yeah.
And I just.
Well, I feel like the reason why UK actors, and especially UK stage actors, just get so many roles here in America is because their level of commitment is so insane.
Yes.
Where you could just give them like, all right, so you love skateboarding, and he's like, got it, and he's this guy where you're like, I'm almost scared by how much you love skateboarding. You know?
Yeah, they're very
They
committed.
just lean in,
and
so
they also
hard.
understand they can turn it on. And
Yeah.
they're trained in such a way. Like I remember Brian Cox, who is Logan Roy in Succession, a
Yep.
show that I love.
yeah,
If you guys have seen
He's
Succession,
Scottish?
He's incredible.
he's Scottish. And that article came out about who's the actor who plays Kendall Roy.
Oh yeah.
He's very very intense.
Yes.
Jeremy
Irons.
Jeremy
No.
Irons.
Strong.
He looks
Jeremy
great for his
Strong.
age.
Oh yeah.
He's very intense, and they asked Brian Cox. Everyone wanted to be like, he's one of these method actors everyone hates. But when you actually ask the other actors, they're like, the result he's getting, we don't care what he has to do.
Sure.
Because it's such an incredibly...
Yeah.
And then Brian Cox was like, I don't know, I just think I'm going to be Logan now, and I do it. Like, he's just like, they're trained
Yeah.
in such a different
Yeah.
way.
And it's literally like I don't know if you remember Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman
Yeah.
and Laurence Olivier, but you know Dustin Hoffman would keep him. He wouldn't let himself sleep at night, and he'd show up to the set, and he'd look like he just had a heroin binge.
Yeah.
Because there's scenes where they keep him awake and they torture him, and he's just like he went through hell. And Laurence Olivier was like, "My dear boy, have you ever tried acting?"
Yeah.
But to their credit, it's like I feel like they're both right. Like if you can do it, just turn it on, turn it off, great. But
whatever
some
you need
people-
to do to elicit whatever you need to get. I
Yeah.
mean, not whatever. There's like parameters
Yes,
of behavior you
of
should have.
course.
You don't need... What I'm saying is, if you're gonna mail everyone a rat, your Joker better not suck. Like,
Well, and you didn't mail anything to Viola Davis, so you're not the Joker.
yeah,
Because you knew her husband would stomp.
yeah.
the shit out of
You still seem to be
Ex-NFL
a little charity in there in your
Like,
choices.
You became yourself. when
You
you're like,
you mailed a rat to every actor you thought you could outrun.
whose husband who wasn't engaged or married to someone who would make you a fist magnet.
Yeah.
In a parking lot somewhere.
It's like, I think Mike Tyson had a cameo in that movie. Did he get a rat?
Yeah,
Did
come
anyone
on,
mail Mike
Joker.
Tyson a rat?
Send it to Mike.
Joker it up, baby.
God, you see
I bet
video-
Joaquin Phoenix didn't mail Robert De Niro anything.
No, probably not.
Probably like, but I bet he might have mailed like Sam Morrill a rat.
Right. It's like, what is this, man?
All right, so Crash.
And it
once
should be
again,
said, it's not the one about people who get turned on by car crashes. Remember that
That's
movie?
a movie?
That is a movie. Yes.
Oh, wow.
That was a
Wow.
big cult classic of it purported to be somewhat David Lynchian in a way, or at least that's where it wanted to go. It was a big one on the festival circuit,
Sure.
a couple years, maybe even 10 years before the crash we're talking about. And
Right.
like I was like, part of me was like, did he mean that crash? Because I haven't seen that either.
What do I do if I got turned on by this crash? What movie do I watch? What if I get turned on by Ludacris stealing an SUV? This one, okay, we'll talk all about this crash. It is in this prestige, infamy sort of world that I think. But let's go ahead and let's get into the script here. Let's do this. Once again, 3 billboards took me on a 5-minute tangent.
Okay.
Here we go. So I got your scripts right up here.
Okay.
Anything you would like to use to score it? We have this children's music kit right here as well.
Okay. I think I'll probably keep it pretty sparse.
Okay.
Because of the depth of emotion.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then you can cast it.
This is part of my
however you'd
process,
like.
so
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure.
Okay. So I'll play Manus because he's racist. Let's see. How about you? You be Andy.
Oh, thank
Cool.
you.
All right,
I would like to say the first thing you say about Manus isn't that he's racist; it's that he's hot.
Yes.
Okay.
But so is Andy.
Okay.
But you're getting ahead of
Okay.
You know. Let's.
Sorry.
They're both hot in their own way. And then let's see. I'll be Simone. You want to play Ben?
I'll be Ben.
Okay.
Beeben.
And then let's see. I want to make. There's only 2 more characters. You play Cuddy.
Cuddy. All right.
Okay. And you. Hold on one second.
Andy.
Let's see. Where is that scene?
Man's voice. I don't mean to be spoiling stuff here.
Yeah.
Ozzy.
Anything like that. Ozzy. Let me see. Do I have all my characters?
If we come across
3,
one.
4, 5, 6. Great. Okay. So I'm missing. So you play Cuddy. You play Ozzy.
Great.
Okay.
My accent work is going to get this podcast canceled.
Okay.
Because it's too accurate.
And are you reading stage?
Oh, you can read the stage directions
Okay,
as
great.
well.
Okay. All right, let's try this. Interior squad car night. And it's a question, if they're inside a car, do you put interior? I'm not the biggest screenwriter.
I think
That was my
I would
guess.
say
I think so.
Okay, so
if it's like the shit. Yeah. Yes.
think
Wait,
so.
is the door open? Is there
no,
a
they're
sunroof?
driving.
Okay. Then yeah, they're driving their car.
Is it,
If you're ghost
is it a
riding the
Tesla?
whip, is
the
it
roof glass?
interior or is it exterior?
I'd love it if some film nerd is just like kicking,
Screaming
his-
at their phone right now.
his-
At their
his
iPod
Blu- his
Classic they
Bluetooth
download
speaker
this
right
on.
now. All right. Interior squad car night. 2 white cops, Manus, 45, grizzled but hot, and Andy, 24, fresh-faced, also hot, drive through a bad part of town. They pass a stumbling homeless man vomiting into the street. Disgusting. I hate blacks.
That was a white guy.
None of these people are people.
Why are you so angry, man?
You don't know how it goes in these streets. If I wasn't here, that darky back there would have killed you.
He wasn't a Manus. I respect you, and I'm trying to learn, but that guy was a blackout drunk. Plus, we're going at least 50.
65.
Jesus, can you slow down? No way he could have touched me.
Yeah, those shines are wily.
He was fucking white.
Interior, corner store, day. Cuddy, 55, ruddy, red, overweight, stands behind the counter of his dirty store. It's empty. Asi, 27, brown, wearing a hijab, walks in and heads for the candy bars.
Hi, do you have peanut butter M&Ms? They're so weird but so good. I've been to 2 places today.
Why did you take out the Twin Towers?
Jesus! Seriously?
It's a simple question.
Okay, I've honestly never left Los Angeles in my life except for Palm Springs. Does that answer your simple question?
Is that where you snuck across the border from Mexico?
Wait, you switched it. Dude, I'm South Asian.
You gave us the Kung Flu.
Literally 3 stereotypes of 3 races for which I barely fit one. Bye, dickhead.
Asi walks out. Interior, house in the Hollywood Hills, night. Ben, 34, handsome, and Simone, 33, dazzling, an affluent black couple, stand on the veranda of their expensive, modern home. Each of them holds a glass of wine. It looks like a magazine spread.
L.A., baby. We made it.
I love it here. But there's something,
What?
I don't know, there's just so many people, but so little.
Parking spaces?
No, it's,
Low-income housing?
sure, yes, but I meant.
Regular dive bars, like good ones, like they have in the Valley. There's none in L.A. proper. Man,
Hey, can I just figure it out on my own? Stop guessing shit.
I hate when we fight.
Ben downs his entire glass of wine.
I'm ready to leave when you are.
Ben goes inside. Simone throws her whole wine glass over the rail. We hear it shatter on something far below. My face! Exterior, squad car, night. Manus and Andy are I flipped it, so it's interior. Sorry. Squad car, night. I don't know.
All right, everyone, just
Rewind.
Stay
with me. Interior, squad car, night. Manus and Andy are in their car near the end of their shift. The squad car is filled with fast food wrappers and empty coffee cups. Can't believe you bet me I couldn't eat 5 Del Taco quesadillas and drink 4 large cups of coffee.
I never said or bet any of that.
Oh, shit, look. It's our lucky day. We see Ben and Simone in a luxury sedan on the road in front of them.
Why? What are they doing wrong?
Being on the road in my city. Manus hits the lights and the sirens. Andy tries to yell over the din.
How are you still on the force?
Interior, Simone's car, night. Ben sees the squad car lights behind them. He's driving.
Damn.
Just pull over.
Of course I'm pulling over. All I said was damn. I hate when we fight.
Ben pulls to the shoulder. Manus and Andy pull up behind them. There's something about this town. It's just so...
Please be quiet.
Exterior, Los Angeles street, night. Manus walks over to the car, gun drawn. Out of the car, both of you!
Officer, aren't you coming to the driver's side window?
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
My hands are visible and my driver's license is in my right front pocket. My proof of insurance is in my glove box.
Done this before, have you? How long is your record? Andy gets out of the car.
Dude, this is insane. They've done nothing.
Manus turns and kicks in the right side headlight of the squad car. I am in command. Back in the car, officer.
This is your car.
Andy gets back in. Manus holsters his weapon. Out of the car, both of you. Hands on the hood. They both comply. He begins frisking both of them at the same time. For a long time. It's super weird. Sir? Ow. Ow. What are you doing? Don't act like you don't like it. Both of you. Ben wheels around.
Stop it.
Manus hits Ben with the gun. He falls, holding his head.
Ouch.
Andy gets out of the squad car and points his gun at Manus.
Stop right there, sir. Stop or I will shoot.
Why, you pissant little. Stop, stop, stop. Stop it now. Stop it. Everyone. Cars around them screech to a halt. A passing couple stop in their tracks. A mangy dog suddenly sits on the sidewalk. L.A. is a place. A big place. A big shining place. A place of almost 4 million people. That's so many people, but we're all so lonely.
My God.
How can that be? How can we be so lonely with so many people? Manus drops his gun, sobbing, and falls to the ground. He covers his eyes with his hands. Andy begins to cry too, and, still weeping, kicks Manus in the head, knocking him unconscious. He then cuffs him and puts him in the back seat, then helps Ben to his feet. We pan out, the city widening beneath us as we rise. We hear honking horns, laughing, crying, conversations of all kinds, music, and the vague sound of Cuddy somewhere saying,
The CIA invented AIDS!
Fade to black. Thank you.
That was like fairly accurate.
I don't remember what happens in actual Crash now. I came in here thinking about everything that happens in it. I'm like, I remember this part.
I forgot
remember
the
this
thing
part.
to add that I knew. I knew that the cop frisked the black female actress. I think Thaddeus Newton is her name. And in looking at her husband or boyfriend and was like, using, just being real creepy. And the husband doesn't do anything. That's like a big thing in it.
Right.
And so, yeah, I made him all around off.
I don't.
Groping both of them.
I really don't remember. I like that he's equal opportunity. That feels like if this movie had been, the progress had happened a little bit. This feels like a post-Trump's first term era type of Crash. The PTFE, I call it. I don't. Okay. I pulled up the cast of the movie just so I could remember who was in it and everything, and then I read this, and I don't know if this makes me hate it more or understand it less. Writer and director Paul Haggis was inspired to make the film after being carjacked by 2 black men at a Blockbuster on Wilshire Boulevard, driving home from the premiere of Silence of the Lambs.
He saw Silence of the Lambs.
He saw Silence of the Lambs. Then he went to
movie.
rent a movie immediately.
But to be fair, it was probably like a palate cleanser.
Yeah. Right.
Where he's just like, I'm just going to rent
What if he's leaving? He's
Caddyshack,
like,
man. I'm so...
I love cinema.
He wore that guy's face. It was so in his head.
Then he gets carjacked, and then he's like... Someone's got to say something about this.
See, we're writing a better movie. With respect to Mr. Haggis, I mean,
that's
the movie. He watches something that just shatters him And then he's like, do you have a copy of Clifford the Big Red Dog? And the guy just pistol whips him.
What if I like to think he
should
got
have gone home and then someone beats him with a bat. Like, it just keeps going.
He goes home and gets killed by the Manson family. Andy was pregnant this whole time. That's what we didn't know. I like to think he got carjacked and then still rented a movie. It was on the way into the Blockbuster.
Crawls in, head bleeding.
Maybe he hadn't rewound a movie or something. Like you're not going to rewind Back to the Future? I can. 91. I don't know what would have been coming out around that. Or maybe he had a screener of Silence of the Lambs or something.
Yeah.
I think when screeners were on VHS, a guy just watched you watch it to make sure that you weren't stealing.
Oh,
it.
I bet.
A guy came over to your house.
With it. It'd be like the like when you order a stripper and ask there's just a guy with her.
A guy would stand there and he would just go, "Kyle Ayers' copy, Brillstein." Just while you're watching, that's for nobody. Nobody's gonna know what that is. I cannot. I mean, you know what I can is believe that that's who. And then he sat on it for 13 years.
Or, I mean, did he? Did he? And he might have pitched it, and people were like,
first draft of Crash was written in 2001, so that's after he got fired from Family Law. Heath Ledger and John Cusack were cast in the movie, and he asked John Travolta and Kelly Preston to appear, and then everyone dropped out.
Yeah.
And then Don Cheadle tried to leave to make Hotel Rwanda, and they let him leave, and it's like, then he came back and they were like, "We waited for you," and he's like, "Fuck!" Like he tried to
yeah.
He's like, "I gotta go."
Such a nice guy. Such a nice guy.
You guys go on without me, and then he gets back to like, "We waited for you," and he's like,
You said you would have loved doing the movie if you weren't filming Hotel Rwanda.
If you didn't have Hotel Rwanda to film.
Yeah.
What a bizarre thing. It was listed as many critics' top 10 lists. Roger Ebert said it was the best movie of the year. Richard Roeper said it was the third best movie of the year. Peter Travers, ninth best movie of the year. And then it had an controversial Oscar moment. It's also the winner of the worst winners of Best Picture Oscars list of all time.
Yep.
I think you can name either number 2 or number 3. Both more recent than you might think.
Shakespeare in Love?
More recent.
No. Yeah, I'm having a hard time. But
number 2, Slumdog Millionaire, and number 3 was Chicago.
Oh.
Sometimes I wonder if
Chicago won Best Picture.
Sometimes I wonder if it's based on also what they're up against, because Brokeback Mountain is like an all-time movie.
Sure.
This is like a great movie that will persist forever.
Yeah.
And was up for Best Picture that year.
Yeah.
And lost to Crash. It feels a little Moonlight La La Land moment-y.
Yeah.
Like that felt like a little bit of a repeat of this, although I do like La La Land. This feels, Brokeback Mountain just felt like very important.
Yeah.
And then Crash felt like very surface level important, even at the time. And it feels like it's held up even worse than that.
Yeah. It's just Brokeback Mountain. I mean, they're both like, let's just say like one's about racism, one's about gays. Like if you go that,
it is.
Simple,
oftentimes the Academy is like pigeonholed down to can I describe your movie in one word?
Right, of course.
And what do we feel for this year?
Like the whole industry, but Brokeback Mountain is like a love story about people in it kind of really up against it.
Yeah.
But it's a story. It's just a story. Whereas Crash, I know it has storylines, and it is a story too, but it's got this overweening, why can't we all just get together and work it out, guys?
There is always one of
where
those.
there isn't a part of Brokeback Mountain where a person stands in front of a bar and is just like, we got to stop treating those queers so bad. Because that would ruin the movie.
Right.
And both those guys who are gay in the movie would be like, shut up.
Chill.
Stop.
We're getting this across subtlety.
We go camping.
I think that when
this
was like an especially Oscar-y Best Picture year. Because there's these archetypes of what is a Best Picture movie. So here we have Crash, which is Oscar baity, race bait. There's Brokeback Mountain. There's Good Night and Good Luck, which is not about the industry, but about speaking and being in front of in a very famous moment, also a very famous moment in the childhood of most of the Oscar voters who are 80. And Black and White.
Yes.
So that's there. And then there was Capote, There's always the biopic that has the pristine performance that isn't going to win Best Picture but gets nominated.
Right. Yeah.
And then there was Munich, the one named after a city in Europe. Sure. And so there's always those are the ones. They're always there. And it's just a matter of probably who does the best PR campaign or what some old people weren't too afraid to watch.
The best gift baskets that come with the screener.
Yeah. Do you really think
the Munich gift basket? Not great. Just I got to be honest.
I didn't even open mine. I was a little afraid to open it, if I'm going to be honest with you.
It was just a Torah and a gun. It's like, this is a real loaded gun. Why is this in the mail?
I still have my REI gift card from the Brokeback Mountain gift basket, which I thought was a very nice touch.
Sure.
I don't understand why they're emphasizing the co-op. Okay. Well, that's
Well, and I remember that being a very, very annoying time to be a stand-up because every other hacky dude had a Brokeback Mountain joke.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was like, I mean,
and to think you thought George W. Bush was in the rearview mirror of everyone doing a joke.
Oh yeah,
about
but gay panic is like a bottomless well that you can always
and a good punk band name.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. Can I get a time code on that?
About 25, 46 seconds in.
Thank you for saying about. Okay, we're back. I feel like we can put a button on Crash for all of this. I can't believe. I know I've seen it. I'm like, let's stop talking about it. And now I'm like, I can't stop fucking thinking about this movie. But then I look up everything that happened in it, and I think I've just seen it satirized one clip at a time on Twitter.
That's. I mean, I saw they put up that scene that I was made fun of with Cuddy, where the actor is just screaming at this Middle Eastern woman, and it's one of those things that I'm just like, no. I mean, this isn't the movie. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't set, December of 2001.
No. Yes.
Yeah, where it's like, yes, that was going on where people were losing their minds on anyone who was mildly brown and had, they're like Sikhs were getting
actually
yelled
the
at.
end
It's
of
like,
Crash
man,
is 9/11 happens.
Oh,
they
is
all
it?
Brendan Fraser is actually that's why he hasn't been in anything in a while. He was flying one of the planes.
Okay. Until you said that, I didn't think you were kidding.
He looked at the camera and said,
like,
"Now who's
checks
bedazzled?"
Out, dude. Checks out.
But this strikes me. This movie has the tone of like that Robert Pattinson movie that ends with him walking into the World Trade Center, and you're just like, and it pulls back, and it's like film student gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. That was what I heard from so many people whose opinion I respected about Crash was that it just beats you about the face and head.
It does.
Where you're just like, okay,
maybe that's why it resonates with 80-year-olds because they never have, and so they're like, "This is what."
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that this was going on. I didn't know they let everyone live close together like that these days.
Yeah. It's like watching like Batman, Christian Bale like swoops onto into a scene and just goes, "I'm not Bruce Wayne."
Yeah.
What did you say?
No. What did you say? What did you say? Why are you called Two-Face?
I said hi, just like you did.
Crash has that feel of the Imagine celebrity video, like
yes.
right as COVID was happening.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Except Crash's cast is more famous than the people they got to do the Imagine thing.
Dude, I mean, it's you put Matt Dillon in something, I'm gonna watch. Yeah. Like he's so good, and he played man. I didn't even know if he had a partner.
I read the plot to this.
He was good. He was very
in the Wikipedia, and it sounds like sometimes you see a movie plot where it sounds like they're not allowed to go back. They just make it as they go along. Like it's an improv scene. Like you can't go back and edit. Where it's just like there's a minor collision, and then racially charged insults occur, and then there's a crime scene, there's a dead kid, and then a carjacking, and then the carjacking might cost him re-election, and then this guy goes to his superior, and there's another carjacking. This guy's having sex with Rhea and gets a phone call.
That's a lot of yes
and it's just like
this is. I don't think improv group. I think a 7-year-old making up an excuse for why he's late.
Yeah,
and he's watched too much crime TV.
The last line
they were raping, and then he called him the N-word, and then there was a car crash, but then a guy
guy came up and said, "I'm stealing your car."
The
And
crash
he
seems
said,
like
"You're dumb. You're a dumb Chinaman." And then he like, wait, oh God damn it! You know, like this teacher is like, "Why
Yeah.
Why do I ask you questions?"
We fed a
Mike?"
7-year-old AI
Michael.
all of Law and Order, and this is what they. It ends. The last line says, "An exchange of racially charged insults occur." That's how the movie apparently ends.
That's how it ends. Oh my God! There's no catharsis at all.
No.
Oh
Maybe
my God!
maybe we're not any better than we used to be.
What a weird.
If I remember correct, it ends with the racist cop saving the black woman.
Right. I know. Well, that's like the poster. They're like hugging.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I saw I remember seeing the preview with the scene where the cop's groping her, and then they have a minute later where they're back at their house, and she's like, "You didn't do anything." And he's like, "What could I have done as a cop?" But then I saw the poster, and the white cop and the black woman are hugging and kind of like crying to the heavens together.
Yeah.
Kind of thing where it's like, oh, so they work it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then at the end, he hates her because she's a woman.
Oh. Okay.
He understands.
Yeah.
Cool.
Figured out the
So
race thing.
He's
but
come,
Yeah.
He's come half circle.
Yeah.
I'm not racist anymore,
Right.
but those bitches need to. Oh,
Look,
Dylan.
any race can be in the kitchen. I think. It's like, okay, Matt.
Please. Listen. And can you cut? Hey, Matt, can you not improvise?
Matt, we don't know who your cue card guide
Honestly,
is.
it's not. You're not. I thought I'd make him sexist because I mean.
That's Crash. And that's Crash. That's how I end the shows every time I say that. And we look right into the camera. Wow. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again. Probably not. Great. Well, we got some games we play here on the podcast.
Okay, cool.
We got a few games we're going to play here. This first game that we're going to play, this game is called Before and Afters. You don't need the headphones.
Get ready to play before and afters.
Cool theme
Yeah.
playing. Before and Afters, how this works is 2 movies have been smashed together into one movie. I will read you the smashed together plot. You have to tell me the smashed together title. So, for instance, some that we did on the last episode, Little Women Who Stare at Goats, 1976, $1 Million Baby Geniuses, Fargo, Saving Private Silverman. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of ways you can smash them.
yeah.
None of them are as good as those examples, so I apologize. But there's a reason those are the
Fine.
examples.
I get it.
I would say this is we're in the medium to difficult range with these ones here.
Okay.
These were written by Eric and Moist on our Discord for the podcast.
Thank
So
you,
shout
Moist.
Moist is here all the time. Moist is writing a lot of before and afters.
All right. Good for Moist. And so I'm basically just giving a description.
I will give the description. You guess the title.
I'll guess the title.
Yes.
Oh,
I smashed the plot together.
it. Okay, cool.
Or Eric or Moist.
Okay.
So, all right, here we go. I think these start, and you can work together or you can competitively.
Okay. Let's work together.
It's up to you.
Okay, yeah,
Here we
that
go.
sounds good.
Intergalactic criminals band together and abduct the stars of a cult sci-fi TV show.
Oh, okay.
Lost in Space.
I think it's the last one is Galaxy Quest.
Okay.
Right? So
Guardians of the Galaxy Quest.
I need a better instrument, but that is correct. Guardians of the
job.
Galaxy
Good
Quest.
job.
Good teamwork. Good teamwork all around. Applause from the back, sort of. All right, here we go.
Okay.
A legendary soul singer who lost his sight at age 9 wants a child so badly that he steals one out of a set of quintuplets.
Ray Raising Arizona.
Yeah, Ray. Yeah.
Racing Arizona it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Racing
yeah.
Arizona.
Racing. Okay. Nice.
Wow.
Nice, good
Wow.
job.
Thanks,
Wow,
thanks,
that's
thanks.
great.
They're going to get a little harder.
Okay.
A fashion designer kidnaps puppies in order to send them to defeat the invading Persian army.
Cruella or 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, I think it's Cruella.
Cruel.
Oh, wait. Is it 300 Dalmatians?
300 Dalmatians.
That was good.
The realization that's frustrating, upset, and happy. That's the face that we like to have people make on this
good, it's
podcast.
good.
You're like, oh, I'm here.
And by the way, there was 100 Dalmatians, 101, right? Or was it 101 and then they did 102?
102.
It'd be great if the third one was 300.
300.
Like, fuck
Yeah,
it, man. I'm just doing.
Someone dumped
What?
198
5,000.
Dalmatians on their
I don't give a
porch.
shit.
20,000 Dalmatians, and they're all
Infinity
mad.
Dalmatians.
Here we go. A radio host in Vietnam during the war is taken over by a black goo alien symbiote.
Good morning, Venom.
Good morning, Venom.
Nice work.
You guys
Good
are
job.
kind of rolling through. This thing hurts my ear. But it sounds so good. Tensions build when everyone in a pizzeria in a black neighborhood that refuses to hang any photos showcasing black actors must band together to defeat a beast that can shapeshift.
Oh, do the right thing.
Do the right thing!
Yeah, nice.
This is crazy.
We're killing it.
Yeah, we are.
This is crazy. You guys will host the podcast from now on. Please. I'll introduce you to Moist. Moist, Matt, Mike, Moist. That sounds like a good podcast, honestly. Matt, Mike, Moist. Here we go. It doesn't sound as good of a podcast as it did the first time I said it.
No.
A cheerleading squad accused of stealing their routines is transported into the digital world where they must face off against computerized likenesses.
Bring it, Tron.
Bring it,
Oh, wow.
Man, Bring It
I just wanna see how
Tron
long
would
we
be
can-
great.
Yeah.
Bring It Tron and Bring It Tron.
I wanna see that movie.
have told this story on here before, but I once got my internet turned off in Queens for torrenting Bring It On to try and take a clip of it for a joke.
Oh, wow.
And I torrented it, and our internet got turned off. We didn't know why the internet got turned off. So I called, get it turned back on. Then later, months later, you get a thing in the mail, and it's just so you know, the whatever Digital Privacy Piracy Act, you violated it for bring_it_on 720p.mp4. And I'm like, this is fucking embarrassing, but it's just on my fridge. It's the only art that I had. 720. I was like bear sharing it at the time. All right. We got some more before and afters, but we'll play them here in a little bit. The next game that we're going to play is called Build the Perfect Movie.
Build a perfect movie.
How Build the Perfect Movie works is I will give you a category. You are competing against one another in this game.
Oh, okay.
You each have to pick 2 movies whose Rotten Tomatoes score add up to as close to 100 as possible without going over. So Price is Right rules do
they
apply.
gotta be around 50%.
Around 50 each, or 90-10,
Got it.
5-95.
Okay.
You'll each pick your first one. We'll review the scores. Then you can pick your second according to your first score.
Okay.
So you can adjust. The category, what was this, Crash? The category we're going to do first is dramas. Crash is a drama, so you got to pick 2 dramas whose Rotten Tomatoes score adds up to as close to 100. I'm just going to put a little background music on for everyone. But so we'll go Matt, then Mike, and then we'll review the scores.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Philadelphia.
You don't even have to pick your second one yet.
Okay.
Because that way, if your score is not where you think it is. All right, Philadelphia. Mike, your first movie?
Do the Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh, good one.
Okay, here we go. Reviewing these scores. Philadelphia is a 79%.
Great.
So you're going to be looking for a 21 or less
Yes.
for your perfect movie. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is a 65.
Okay.
So you're going to be looking for a 35. Mike, you'll pick first since you have more to make up. So think about what you want to do there.
55, okay.
After her humiliated husband kills himself. This is such a 90 movies plots are so dope.
It's a good start.
The 90s movies that feel like a 90s
good
movie,
start,
like The
love
Hand
mine.
That Rocks the Cradle,
Yeah.
it's always just this fucking dead dumbass, his wife says,
Yeah.
wears his skin around to rob a bank. And you're like, that sounds awesome.
So intense.
So I need a 40.
You need a 35.
35.
Can't go over.
Oh my God, that's a bad drama. What is? I feel like I should be watching more drama.
I think you're fine.
Same. Total same.
And even if it just has a dramatic moment, I'll take it. If it's scary, I'll take it. If it's thrillery, I'll take it.
Okay.
Imagine I'm disqualifying your movies in the podcast
Yeah.
game.
Just be like Godzilla. It's gotta. Okay, I'm gonna say.
You know, Godzilla La La Land was almost one of the before and afters today. I just have to tell you guys that while we're here.
I'm going to say. Oh, that's more of a romance.
Godzilla versus Moth Raising Arizona, also another one, folks.
You can do this all day.
I know I think it's a mental disorder. that I have. I don't think it's like. I wish I could like
Turn it off.
call my family.
Sure.
Remember my friends' names.
Remains of the Day.
That's your movie.
Wait, yeah. We're going tomato score, right?
Rotten Tomatoes score. Critics. Remains of the Day. Another 90s movie.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, your second movie. We're looking for a 21 or less.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Gotti.
I already know what Gotti is because we've used it on here before. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Mike, 65%. We need a 35 or less.
Oh, yeah.
Remains of the Day, 95%.
I was surprised you went with that one.
Like a great movie that everyone agreed was
That
great.
was a big hit.
I think I mixed it up with something that was really bad.
I mean, it has
I hope
those
so.
big titles.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Mike's
yeah,
like,
it
so
was one of those-
let me
yeah.
think. Heat. Like, well, I think they might like that one. Fine, I'll do The Wizard of Oz.
Wait, which one's the Remains of the Day?
Remains of the Day is Anthony Hopkins.
Oh,
He's a
fuck.
Hugh
butler.
Grant.
Yeah.
I was thinking the wrong, different movie.
Yeah.
You can never pick anything with Anthony Hopkins.
No,
It's gonna be
he's
at
gonna
least
Anthony Hopkins won't get
75.
it's a 50 that he shows up,
Yeah,
let alone is
yeah.
even. All right, so here we go. Can Matt qualify here and win round one? Philadelphia 79%. Gotti 0. It is a 0%. It is a 0%.
Wow. I thought it would get at least 10. Like
No.
one critic be like, I had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even in a time where everyone enjoys self-awareness in movies, it took itself too seriously for anyone to hate watch it.
Wow. Boring.
That's actually the
That's
only
the
good review of it said exactly that.
I mean, that's the like worst description. Well, it's a gangster movie, but it's really boring.
Someone
I'm
said
not gonna
that in
watch
here.
it.
They said, I watched Geely instead. That's what they said about
Wow.
Gotti. And they said they watched it in 1.5 time, like a podcast. You could have. All right, we're going to play another round here of Build the
Geely.
Perfect Movie. Let me get the little theme song going again. This round, we're going to try and build the
Build a
perfect.
movie.
Well, let's do comedy, and then we'll do sort of a curveball for a third one. We're trying to build the perfect comedy,
Okay.
right? So whenever, Matt, you won that round, so you'll pick first here.
Okay. What am I picking?
Comedy. So we're going to try and build the perfect comedy, so pick your first one, then Michael pick his first one, then we'll review the scores. Just the same,
got
just
it,
a new
got it.
round. of
Okay,
this.
same thing. Okay, sorry. So I will do, I'll do, okay, I'll do A Night at the Roxbury.
Okay. Mike?
Ooh,
The thing about comedy is the Rotten Tomatoes scores of them rarely coincides with the quality, I think, especially from
Yeah.
like 90 to 2008.
Yeah, well, I mean, and comedy is so subjective.
And critics don't like to laugh. Like that's
No.
Yeah.
they only like self-serious.
only
comedy.
recently do I think Will Ferrell might have been the transition to make critics rate comedies based on what they're trying to do instead of like against all other film.
Right.
Okay, so we have Night at the Roxbury. Mike, your first comedy. This is just coming from someone who's looked up 8 million Rotten Tomatoes scores for this podcast.
Sure.
I'm gonna say Joe Dirt.
A good one.
See, like that's a movie I love,
Yeah, it's a great movie.
and I bet it is not a very high Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm hoping for like a 40-50%.
All right, here we go. Night at the Roxbury, 9.
Oh.
9%, so you're looking for a 91.
Okay.
Joe Dirt, 9.
Are you kidding me?
Look, it's, so you're looking for a
That's
91.
surprising.
That is-
Mine was not surprising.
No. 9%. Joe Dirt is a.
And 63
Hilarious.
audience.
63% on the audience score. I wonder, like the Night at the Roxbury's audience score is probably a pretty big discrepancy as well, 69.
Yeah.
So those are big discrepancies.
Yep.
All right, so we're both at 9.
Okay.
So we are looking for 91 each, and Matt, you go first.
I'm gonna go Elf.
Good choice.
Just feel like that one is
Okay.
a favorite.
Yes, I love Elf.
It's so good.
Mike?
And this
91.
is the critics' choice, right?
Critics.
Not the
Yes,
audience
yes.
score. So I need something that's hilarious, but also an industry darling. So I can't do like anything Sandler, because that's probably also like. Oh, you know what? I like that was sort of a hint that he went.
Well, I don't remember which ones, but some.
Yeah.
Once again, there's like a breaking point when everyone liked Adam Sandler more.
Right.
And so,
But-
I don't remember if The Waterboy's 6 or 94, but it's
Right.
like it's one of those.
I can tell you it's 6. I'm gonna go 50 First Dates.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that one had
Hope
heart.
everyone enjoyed the sound effect of me typing in the wrong input. All right, here we go. Joe Dirt is a 9%. 50 First Dates is a 45. So we're looking at a 54. Night at the Roxbury is 9. Elf, 85. That's a 94. That's a very good perfect movie.
Yay.
That's a 94. Let's we normally do a tiebreaker, but It's not even required. So instead, we're going to play the sister game of Build the Perfect Movie. This is called What's the Biggest Discrepancy You Can Come Up With? And the category is going to be Adam Sandler movies. You have to pick a movie that has the biggest discrepancy between critics and audience score.
Okay.
Bonus points if you tell me which one's higher. But you don't have to get that right to win. So biggest discrepancy between an Adam Sandler movie's critic and an Adam Sandler movie's audience score. Matt, you've won every game, so you can go ahead and pick first.
I'm going to go Billy Madison.
Okay. And Mike?
I'm gonna. You got to go that early Sandler because that's the stuff that the people love.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like neck and neck.
Yeah.
Throw a dart.
All right, Billy Madison, audience score 79, critics score 41, so that's a 38. That's a pretty big discrepancy since, 100 is all the percentages there are.
Right.
Happy Gilmore, 85, audience score 61, critics, so that's a 24. They kind of liked Happy Gilmore.
Wow.
They kind of liked Billy
I do
Madison.
remember that's the one because when I saw Billy Madison, I was like, eh. I mean, it was funny to me.
Yeah.
I find it so much funnier now than I did then first time I saw it. So it's like I get it more like there's, him leaning on the car, listening to "Stroke Me." like,
Sure.
cool,
Yeah.
It's so funny. But Happy Gilmore, I got right away. I was surprised about how much I liked.
Happy Gilmore, it's so funny and bold to make a golf comedy less than like 10, 12 years after Caddyshack, the only good sports comedy, comes out and you're like, you know what? But it is the funniest sport to mock.
Yeah, and when he could go so broad where it's like,
Yeah.
right, the idea is a hockey player who can't skate, but he hits a puck so hard he shatters glass.
Yeah.
And then discovers that, 60% of golf is driving.
Yeah.
About getting it to the green. So I was like, it's just such a great idea and ridiculous. It's one
It's
of those
very,
ideas
very
that no
funny.
actor would be like, what? I'm not going to do that.
Whereas Billy Madison is almost an SNL sketch strung out for an hour and a
It
half.
is a vehicle for
100%.
jokes.
Happy Gilmore is kind of like a plot, and then there's like classist like undertones and like
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
things
Totally.
that happen.
Totally.
And art.
Yeah.
What's the difference between alligators and crocodiles? Like there's a lot of important things in it. Okay, we're gonna take one last break, and we're gonna come back with a couple more games, and then we're out of here. Can I get a little time code on that?
That is 46:20.
Wow, we're actually cruising along. All right, these last two are quicker games here.
Okay.
Braunger is killing it on the.
You are really, really good at this.
This is fun. I don't know.
I have a spreadsheet
I
of-
feel like the games are pretty right-brained.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my alley.
What's the math of pun movie is like where most of them land.
Okay,
I have a spreadsheet of about 8,000 before and afters. I'll just send you the link if you just want to just stare at them and think of them. I even have 500 that don't have descriptions yet. Okay. Well, we got a couple more games we're going to play. This game is a new game. It does not really have a title. It's going to be clunkier because it's a new game. We're introducing it. Then we're going to finish with everyone's favorite game. But this game is DoesTheDogDie.com emotional, spoiler, categorical, ranking guessing. So there's a website called DoesTheDogDie.com.
Wow.
Originally, it was a website designed to let you know if a dog dies in a movie. So you could go in and you could type, and then if the dog does die, how? So you could go in and type like John Wick, and it'd be like, don't see John Wick. Like if you're coming to this website, don't go see John Wick.
Yeah.
And you type in the movies. It has since broadened to being all sorts of things. Is there of like emotional spoilers? Is there cutting? Is there drug use? And people get to make them. It's all sort of user like you. The more you search things, the higher and lower it goes.
Right.
The more people who look for them. So this site is just fascinating to me. The number one search thing on the website is, does a dragon die? Right now, that's the number one search thing. I would imagine a lot of people from House of the Dragon are coming and looking for this.
Sure.
But I can't imagine being so emotionally fucked by a dragon dying that you need to like know firsthand.
Yeah.
I get the dog thing.
Right.
Yeah, because they're real.
I don't like if a dog. I can't watch the dog. I can't even watch the beginning of a dog is saved video where it's like in the kennel and
Yeah,
has
it's
been
in
dropped
danger.
off because it makes me really sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's some of the things, and once again, these are in order of how often people reference them.
Okay.
A dog dies, there's spiders, there's snakes, there's bugs. Animals are abused. If you scroll way down, you get someone is buried alive.
Okay.
Way down even further, someone is hanged. Way down even further, a child's toy is destroyed, which is just above someone says the N-word. I mean, this is the order, and then what I'm saying is like what people care about more. It's like it's like a good emotional American breakdown. Someone vomits is just above propaganda, which is just above someone dies of cancer. It's great. This is all over the place, but it's very funny. So I'm going to try and find some of these funny ones. Here's the game. I'm going to find a emotional spoiler category. I'm going to tell you what it is and tell you the show or movie. You have to tell me how many people agree or disagree that it exists.
Okay.
So if I look at does a dog die? The number one most searched thing is John Wick. 1,000 people have voted. They've almost all said yes, a dog dies.
Yes.
Right? Like, don't see this if that triggers you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and find one that's kind of like, I don't want to say stupid, but kind of like, come on, relax a little bit. Someone is restrained.
Wow.
This is for people who are if you're triggered by someone being restrained.
Yes.
Maybe you're turned on by it.
Sure.
So 60 people have come in here to tell you whether or not someone is restrained in the movie Nope.
Oh, okay.
How many of them do you think said yes, someone is restrained? Also, this is a fun thing to disagree about.
How many?
60.
Okay, so we have to guess how many agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're figuring this game
Yeah,
out as
no,
we
I
go
like
along.
it.
There's something in this weird website.
Ooh. Are we working together or?
It doesn't matter.
I'm just gonna say 50.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna say 40 because I think
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
more of a mental restraint,
Oh yeah.
right? You know, it's like a
Yeah, true,
like the
true,
mind
true.
game. So maybe
Okay.
people would disagree.
It is 52. Most people agree someone is restrained in that movie. I want to find some that are a little more subjective, I suppose. There are jump scares. This feels a little more subjective, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, in the show Stranger Things, 443 people voted on whether or not there are jump scares. How many people do you think said no? There are no jump scares
Stranger
in the
Things?
Stranger Things.
Out of 440.
I'm trying to remember if I remember any jump scares.
But there's gotta be. It's like a
There have to be.
horror
Yeah.
show.
How many people would watch that and say there are zero jump scares? I like jump scares because that's kind of a subjective.
Yeah.
But also,
So
it
we're
isn't.
voting on how many.
How many do you think said there's no jump
There's
scares in
none.
Stranger Things?
Okay. I'm gonna say 100.
100.
Yeah.
Out of 440.
Yep.
I'm gonna go lower because I'm gonna do prices right on you, Braunger.
do it.
I'm gonna do 15.
It is 18. Very close from Michael Joyce. Very close. I'm trying to find a movie that definitely. Okay, here we go. Once again, we're in jump scares.
Yes.
The video game Minecraft is on here.
Yes. Sure it is.
And jump scares?
And there are 154 people came to this website to let you know whether or not there's jump scares in the video game Minecraft.
Right.
How many people said yes out of 154?
I don't really know Minecraft. I mean, I know what it is. I've just never played it.
And also, you can leave comments about like
Yeah.
what it is to look out for, which is even better.
I'll do 60.
60,
I'm sorry. What was the total again?
154.
I'm gonna go over on this one. I'm gonna say 105.
It is 149. There is a rare event known as a skeleton trap in which once again, someone came here, made an account, looked for jump scares, looked for Minecraft. There's a rare event known as skeleton trap in which seemingly normal skeleton horse spawns after a thunderstorm. It's just the thing that gets me about this website that I want to explore it more is how deep it is. And how like there's so many. And okay, will be the end of it. Guess what the least searched triggering category is on this website?
The least
It's
search.
searched less than there's a nuclear explosion. I mean, we're all triggered by a nuclear bomb going off. Could you imagine if a nuke goes off and you're like, fucking whatever?
Yeah.
We're triggered by that. It kills
Sure,
everyone.
sure.
The ending is sad. More people is not the last one. Someone has a stroke is not the last one.
Wow.
A male character is ridiculed for crying is low, but not the last one.
Okay.
There's a large age gap is on here is
Whoa.
low, but not the last one. We're looking for the least search category. There is gun violence.
No.
The category that triggers the least people on this website is whether or not there
Very
is gun
definition of
violence.
triggering.
Yes, it's literal triggering.
That's amazing.
And also people disagree, which is wonderful. Okay.
Wow.
That game, maybe never going to play it again, but I thought there was something to it.
It was certainly like a fascinating social
I'm just
experiment.
blown
Yeah,
away by this
yeah.
website and that the dog, like, I get the dragon because the game, but the dog dying is so much more searched than gun violence.
Yeah.
It's like a Daily Show joke. It's so like, it's like a Lewis Black situation. It's
Right.
just so right on the nose.
Have you ever?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was just like, have you ever watched something without gun violence? You're like, what's different about this? And you're like, oh, there were no guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so. I mean, they did a study that movie posters where someone's holding a gun, people are way more into. That's
Yeah.
in
That's why I saw Paddington too.
yeah, of course.
They gave him that little
Strap.
piece.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. Let's just add guns. Let's Americanize a bunch
Sure.
of posters.
Yeah.
Although I can't think of any other movies in Paddington that don't already have a gun. I'm trying to come up with one other example. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Frodo's
I
got
can't
an AR.
picture a movie. I saw someone say this tweet that made me laugh. They were like, "I get that House of the Dragon is super violent, but that's just how it was back then." And I think that's so funny.
Oh, I always make fun of Game of Thrones, where I'm just like we've protected this wall for 1,000 years. I'm like 1,000 years, you guys never built fucking planes, and like people will be like, no, but the conditions people die off. I'm like, people have always died off.
It is so
We passed
our
the knowledge
technology has
down.
not.
Like,
our,
stop.
our technology
Like,
has not
no
progressed.
One drew a cannon or a gun. It's just like no. It's
The
just
only technological
friggin-
advancement in weaponry was like that one guy made gunpowder.
yeah. Oh yeah, no, that green stuff.
Yeah.
It's magic. It blows stuff.
It took him
it's
1,000 years, but other than that, the technology is the same in the prequel.
One Asian guy shows up and shows him how to make gunpowder.
They also always talk to like, if you go across the river is dope. You can go to ASOS. Everyone gives you free oranges.
Yeah.
You want to stay here in the cold? Yeah. Just go. It's like, I don't know. Okay. Last game we're going to play. This game is called Guess What Movie Kyle's Dad is Describing, having only watched the trailer, never having heard of the movie.
Nice.
The game.
I like this.
We will need audio for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we all hear it.
Yep.
Oh,
I'm good. I'm good.
Guess what movie trailer Kyle's dad is describing, having only watched the trailer and never having heard of the movie game.
Okay, how this game works, I don't want to blow up your headphones here.
Yeah.
How this game works is my dad watches a movie trailer. He describes what's happening in that trailer. You have to tell me what movie it's a trailer for.
Got it.
Important context, he has not been to a movie theater since the original Space Jam. So we're not bringing a lot of proper nouns
Sure.
to this.
Got it.
Directors, actors, things like
Got
that.
it. Sure.
All right, here we go. We got a few of these we can play.
Can I just went to the second one?
He's probably figuring out the voice memo app right now.
Stop those. Yeah, go ahead. You can decipher.
So he's been out of school for a little over a year. And he's one more win away from getting a set of steak knives. Oh, wow. Now they are duct taping that guy in his bed. Okay, so the main guy and the girl are talking while the guy hits baseballs. Wait, why does this other guy eat breakfast so close to a bunch of Cubans? A lot of talking.
Wow.
They're not taking a deal. A lot more talking. This is very dramatic music for people standing around a courtroom talking at each other. Oh, there's that famous line.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
I think I have a guess.
All right.
Do you want me?
Good. Please.
I'm just gonna say A Few Good Men.
It is A Few Good Men.
Wow.
I had no clue. I'm so glad you got that.
Was it baseball that gave
It was
away?
baseball and then the famous line and a
Oh.
courtroom.
It really was baseball?
Yeah, because I remember Tom Cruise playing baseball.
yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah,
Throwing a ball against
yeah.
people.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Okay. There's a list of famous names here. So they're at a school. It looks like an assembly. A student is reading a newspaper. A lot of quick shots of everything one student is doing. Now he's wearing a fancy hat.
Great.
Another guy shows up and might be a doctor. He's got the hat on again and has a gun, I think. The older guy steals a bicycle and messes up the wheel. She says those guys deserve each other. Quick shots of people putting on glasses. He's taking off glasses. He's in front of a red curtain. Thank you very much.
Holy shit.
This might be the hardest one now that I hear it.
That's really wild.
Glasses.
Glasses.
A lot of glasses.
Glasses, school,
School and the hat. I'm guessing it's like a graduation.
weird
cap,
hat.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'd like to think he would know what that is.
Yeah.
He hasn't been to a movie in a while, so he doesn't know what a graduation cab. He's like, what are these inventions?
I'm just going to take a wild swing and say Beautiful Mind.
It is not a beautiful mind.
Okay.
I was thinking like Scent of a Woman or something.
Huh. Yeah.
Like
they
young
had the-
man, old man,
Hmm.
the Graduate or something. But
We are looking for Rushmore.
Rushmore. Oh, yeah.
While we recap, I'll let you listen to it. Think about
Okay.
Rushmore.
bunch of famous
There's a list of famous names here.
It's like a Wes Anderson trailer.
So they're at a school.
Yeah.
It looks like an assembly. A student is reading a newspaper. A
Jason
lot of
Schwartzman,
quick
very,
shots
like,
of
uppity.
everything one student is doing.
beret on.
Yeah, the fancy hat, the beret. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey.
That's actually a very good description of a Wes Anderson trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that it's like,
Yeah.
but if he were describing literally any Wes Anderson movie, I'd be like, I am so lost.
It's really,
yeah.
really.
I know.
There's one of them that he has done for, I believe, Life Aquatic, and it actually ends with him going, "It's all right in the middle," and I'm like, "There you go. That's like a Wes Anderson movie description, I think." But he is very his trailers always have like the cast centered in the
Yeah,
middle,
yeah.
symmetry, famous people. Well, hey. You really killed it on the games today. This might have been
Thanks.
the biggest
Super fun.
game win of all time. You can keep that LaCroix.
Thank you.
Yes, from everybody here at
That's all I
Starburns.
wanted.
Please let everyone know where to find you and where to watch your comedy special and everything like that.
You can find me at mattbronger.com, at Braunger on Instagram and Twitter, Real Matt Braunger on TikTok, and my special, Doug, is on Moment, which is moment.co/Matt Braunger. It's basically like a site that hosts big events, typically, like big bands doing live stuff, and they're starting to do this thing, partnering with comedians and debuting their specials and having like an exclusive for a couple weeks. So my special, Doug, is named after a terrible dude I met on vacation with my wife, and the ending story has a massive twist that I didn't want to give away. They just put on like a regular platform. So watch it, enjoy the twist. It's basically vacation themed. It's all shot with like palm fronds on the sides and things. And yeah, I mean, it's just the idea of Doug. The story at the end of the special is us men definitely need good examples, good male role models. We also need bad ones, and Doug was a bad one. I met Doug, and I was like, I can never be you, man. And the rest of it kind of goes through having a kid during the pandemic, my wife and I losing our minds, driving across the country from L.A. to Boston with a 6-week-old, driving a electric car with California plates during an election year, and yeah, real adventure. And then just basically flashbacks to my garbage days in Chicago, and how I didn't understand how I couldn't say another little boy was good looking on the playground, just like he's a good looking kid, without being called quote unquote queer when all these same guys were watching 80s action movies that were homoerotic beyond. Why did Rambo never wear a shirt?
It was
A lot of
impractical.
service members, and they always have their shirts on when in action.
The same shirt.
So yeah, it's just, in a nutshell, it's like a vacation. So watch it with your friends and get it on Moment. It's called Doug.
Great.
Thank you.
We'll have a link to that in the description of this episode, or you just find it from typing the link in yourself. People know how to find stuff.
Yep, they do.
And Mike, you want to tell everyone what you got going on?
Yeah, you can follow me online at not Mike Joyce, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and if you're in LA every Thursday, Comedy Manor. That's a fun show.
Nice.
Braunger, you should come do it.
I'd love to.
And just watch Matt Bronger's special.
If you go to that show
Thanks,
and you
Mike.
find my notebook there, let me know. I lost it at that
I
show.
know. I look every
It's
week.
okay. It was like brand new pretty much, and you saw my set. It's not like I needed to keep it.
CJ Sullivan has the best bit about being a comedian and like leaving your bag in the hotel room and then calling the hotel and just being like, and they're like, we don't know, it wasn't in the room, because someone like threw it away, and he's just like, no, it. They're like, well, what was in it, sir? And he's like, a notepad and a pen. Serious business. The most bullshit contents of a bag. Like, of course they threw it away. They thought you left it on purpose. It's
Right.
garbage.
Do you throw dreams away, or does housekeeping do that for you?
These are all jokes about penises.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Find us on the Discord at fart.kyleairs.com. That'll link you there, and you can play before and afters against our before and after robot that we built in there. And there's a bunch of other Never Seen It fans. Thank you so much.
I've never seen it.